Now, there are many terms that are associated with national income, and I'm sure you must have heard of them many a times. GNP, GDP, NNP, but you must not be knowing what these terms are. So let us talk about them so that the concept becomes clear to you. We'll take them up one by one. And all these terms, they are related with each other in some or the other way. Let us first take up GNP. Gross National Product, or which is generally known as GNP. GNP is the biggest measure of economic activity. When I say biggest measure, I mean it includes all the economic activities. One, that are held within the country, that are done in the country, and those also that are done outside the countries. But they are done by the factors of production that are owned by the countries. So, import and export that are also included in GNP, and the domestic production is also undertaken in GNP, is also considered in GNP. GNP is the market value of all final goods and services produced in a country in a given year. What are the key words in this? It is the market value. By market value, I mean the price at which it is sold in the country. At which it is sold, and it is the sale and purchase is done. What is its real value? We have nothing to do with what its actual real value is. But the price at which it is sold in the market is the price at which we are going to consider it. So, it is the market value of all goods and services, whether tangible or intangible. Sale of wheat will be added with the barber's service. Whether the service that is or the good is tangible or intangible, we add both these things. So, it is the market value of final goods and services produced by the factors of production of a country in a given year. Market value and final goods and services. Again, we take the final goods and services and we do not take the intermediate goods so as to avoid double counting. In a given year, we talk about a particular year, and it is the biggest measure. Now, NNP, or the net national product. For the production of goods and services, there is always a wear and tear of the capital assets that are used. Every time we are not buying new machineries for production, so if there is a normal wear and tear, and some money goes into those repairing or wear and tear. When we consider that money also, then we arrive at NNP. Or we can say, when from GNP we subtract depreciation. In economics, depreciation is known as capital consumption allowance. When you subtract depreciation from GNP, you arrive at NNP. Depreciation is the amount that is taken out for the wear and tear of capital assets. When you subtract that, you arrive at NNP. This NNP that you have arrived at is NNP at market price. Remember, we are calculating GNP was the market price at which goods and services were sold. So this is NNP at market price. NNP at market price is at times also known as national income at market price. So first we had studied GNP, which was the biggest measure, and then when we subtract depreciation from GNP, we arrive at NNP at market price. Now the next measure is NNP at factor cost, or it is also known as national income. Before we talk about NNP at factor cost, let us understand how we calculate factor cost. As we all know, there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Land gets rent, labor gets wages as income, capital is the interest that accrues at the capital, that is its income, and entrepreneur is the one who earns the profit. Now let us take a simple example of a bread. Suppose the cost of the bread is 20 rupees, on which the government levies a tax of 10%. So its total cost that comes in the market is 22 rupees. 22 rupees is the market price. Now let us divide this further. Out of this 22 rupees, 2 rupees goes to the government as tax. Out of this 20 rupees, the retailer gets it for 20 rupees. 2 rupees margin goes to the retailer. This 2 rupees margin goes to the retailer. He gives 18 rupees to the wholesaler. Wholesaler keeps 2 rupees with himself, and the 16 rupees goes to the producer of the bread. Producer had paid 10 rupees to the wheat owner, 2 rupees to the labor, 1 rupee fixed charge as the rent he had paid, 1 rupees were his fixed expenses, other like machinery and electricity and all, and 2 rupees was his profit. So this was how the money was distributed. This is how the factor income was distributed amongst the various factors that led in the production of bread, that helped in the production of bread. This is how the income was distributed. Now, 22 rupees was the price that you paid. Did the whole amount got distributed amongst the factors of production? No. Only these 20 rupees, they got further divided and distributed amongst the factors of production. What we are going to consider when we talk about NNP at factor cost, we want to know what was the income, or when we are talking about NNP at factor cost or the national income, we are talking about the income that got distributed amongst the various factors of production. So, with this example, it is clear the price that you had paid in the market, the whole of it did not went to the factors of production. The whole of it was not distributed. 2 rupees went to the government and the rest of it was distributed among the factors of production. So, from the market price that you paid, it is important to subtract this indirect tax. So, to arrive at NNP at factor cost or income, it is important that from NNP at market price, you subtract the indirect taxes that you have paid to the government. Similarly, there is another thing. You must have heard the word subsidy. Subsidy is the price that the government pays on our behalf to the producer of a good. Suppose there is a good whose market price is 80 rupees. But the government, since it is a necessity good, the government wants to provide it to the public at a price of 60 rupees. This the government wants the public to pay. But why will the producer pay it in loss? He would say, no, I would sell it for 80 rupees. So the government says, we will give you this 20 rupees. Government will pay and the market price would be 60 rupees. 20 rupees is paid by the government. But the money that goes in the distribution to the factors of production is this 80 rupees. So, we add this subsidy also to the market price. This is the amount that goes for distribution amongst the factors of production. So to arrive at the NNP at factor cost, you need to subtract indirect taxes from it and you need to add subsidy to it. Then you arrive at the national income of a country. This is a very important measure. NNP at factor cost is equal to NNP at market price minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. So NNP at factor cost or national income is NNP at market price minus indirect taxes plus subsidy. Till now we have studied about three measures. GNP, which was the biggest measure. It included income that was earned within the country and income earned from abroad as well. It was the market price at which goods and services were sold in the country. Final goods and services were sold in the country. When from GNP you minus depreciation, you arrive at net national product. Net national product at market price. It is also known as national income at market price. When we talk about national income is the income that is given to the factors of production, that is earned by the factors of production in a country. The whole of the market price does not goes as income to the factors of production. We subtract indirect taxes from NNP and add subsidies to NNP at market price to arrive at NNP at factor cost. The third measure is the personal income. The whole of the national income or NNP at factor cost does not go to the people. Personal income is the income that is earned by the individual. From NNP at factor cost, when you minus corporate earnings or corporate taxes and social security benefits, and you add transfer payments, you arrive at personal income. So personal income is the income that goes into the hand of individuals. All the income that is earned by the firm is not distributed among the individuals. A part of it the corporate houses keep as profit. Then a part of it is also kept as social contributions, social security contributions like PF and all. That is also does not go to the individuals as income. So we will have to subtract these things from NNP at factor cost and add transfer payments to it. What are transfer payments? Transfer payments are those earnings which are not earned by the people as a result of production in contribution of production in this year, like pensions and scholarships. Pensions and scholarships. These are transfer payments. So they are earnings in the hands of individual, but they are not as a result of contribution in production in this particular year. A person gets a pension when he has already worked in a firm for after his retirement. He gets the pension income after his retirement. So this income is not because of his contribution in production this year. These are transfer payments which are given to individuals. They are incomes in the hands of individuals. So you have to calculate them when you keep in mind personal income. So from national income, when you subtract the corporate earnings, corporate tax or social security benefits, and you add transfer payments to it, you arrive at personal income. Next is personal disposable income. Now the whole of the income that a person gets is not with him for disposal, at his disposal. Out of it, some amount he has to pay as taxes. Out of personal income, the direct tax that he has to pay, when that is subtracted, you get the disposable income in your hand. So disposable income is personal income minus direct taxes. So till now, 5 measures we have taken. GNP, which was the biggest measure. When you subtract depreciation from GNP, you arrive at NNP. Then NNP at market price, that is. When NNP at market price, you minus indirect taxes and add subsidies to it, you arrive at NNP at factor cost. Then from NNP at factor cost, you subtract corporate earnings and corporate tax and add transfer payments to it, you arrive at personal income. Then from personal income, you take away the direct taxes that you have to pay, you arrive at disposable income. Now, till now we were talking about gross national product, or we were talking about national product. Now we will talk about domestic product, gross domestic product or GDP. When from GNP you minus net factor income from abroad, you arrive at GDP. GDP is the market value of final goods and services produced within the territory of a country. By territory of the country, I mean the political boundary of the country. When the production process we take into consideration the goods and services that are produced within those boundaries of the country, then it is called as GDP. When I was talking about GNP, I was taking into consideration the income earned from abroad. But when you subtract that income earned from abroad, you get the income earned in your very own house, domestically, what we have earned. That is GDP. So GDP is a small measure, GNP is a large measure. From GNP, you minus net income from abroad and you arrive at GDP. We know exports are earnings from abroad. When we sell our product abroad, what we earn, and imports are payments made abroad for the goods that we bring or we buy from abroad. So when we subtract earnings from payments, we arrive at the net factor income from abroad, NFIA, net factor income from abroad. And when we subtract that from GNP, we arrive at GDP. So GDP, always remember, GDP is a small measure and GNP is a large measure. Then from GNP, we subtract net foreign income from abroad, we arrive at gross domestic product. Now next is GDP at constant prices and GDP at current prices. When I say GDP at current prices, I mean the current market price. Now suppose 100 units were produced in the year 2013 and 14 at the cost of 10 rupees per unit. So the income earned was 1000 rupees. Now in the year 14 and 15, the price goes up by 1 rupee and the same production takes place. The income is 1100 rupees. If I just give you these figures, 1000 rupees production was done in 2013-14 and 1100 rupees production was done in the year 2014 and 15. You would say that the income has increased. But has it actually increased? No, it hasn't. The price has gone up and because of this we feel that the output produced has increased. So this is GDP at current prices, and to overcome this defect, GDP at constant prices is calculated. GDP at constant prices is when you compare the prices with a certain base year. So when you compare it with a base year, you nullify the impact of change in price. Then you arrive at GDP at constant prices. So the difference between GDP at constant price and current prices, current price we calculate when we are talking about the present market value, the production at the present market value, and constant prices is when you are comparing it with a definite base year. So in order to compute the real national income, we should take into consideration GDP at constant prices because that actually gives us the picture that what the real output has been, and not only because of inflationary prices or increase in prices. The next that we are going to take up is GDP at factor cost and GDP at market price. GDP at market price can be calculated when from GNP at market price we take away the net foreign income from abroad. When from GNP, which is a bigger measure, we take away net foreign income from abroad, we arrive at GDP at market price. And when from GDP at market price, you subtract indirect taxes and you add subsidies, you arrive at GDP at factor cost. I hope till now it is clear to you that from national income you will take away national foreign income from abroad, you will arrive at the domestic income. So GNP at market price minus net foreign income from abroad is the GDP at market price. And from GDP at market price, when you subtract indirect tax and add subsidies, you arrive at GDP at factor cost. Now the next is net domestic product. Net domestic product. How do you arrive at net domestic product? When from GDP you minus depreciation, you arrive at NDP, net domestic product. This was how we came GNP. We subtracted depreciation and we got NNP. Similarly, from GDP, if you subtract depreciation, you will arrive at NDP. Let us revise this once again because there will be many questions that you will be asked based on this section only. GNP is the biggest measure, remember. You subtract net foreign income from it and you arrive at GDP. From GNP, you subtract depreciation and you arrive at the net income. GDP minus depreciation is NDP, net domestic product. GNP minus depreciation is NNP. From market price to factor cost, you arrive from market price when you take away indirect taxes and add subsidies, you arrive at factor cost. If these three things you would remember, you will just remember these formulas forever.